If they can't do it, that means I can't. No, that's wrong. You can do it. You're not like them. You're different. Just because they say you can't do it doesn't mean you can't. Just because they can't do it doesn't mean you can't. You have the ability. You have the power. You're a different person. They can't do it because they decided to not put the work in. They decided to do something else. They decided to waste their time. They decided to just scroll, doom scroll. They made the decision to not chase their dreams, and that doesn't mean you should be shackled by their own chains. You're not shackled by anybody's chains. You're not being withheld by anybody. No one's dragging you down. Only you are, the man in the mirror. You are the person that brings yourself the most down. The only person that can really control you is you. You know that, right? You obviously know that. It's so, it's like common sense. It's logic. The only person that can make decisions is yourself. The only person that can elevate yourself is yourself. The only person that can believe that you can do something more than anybody else is yourself. You have the ability to choose what you want, to do what you want, to live the life that you've always wanted. It's just up to you now. What are you willing to sacrifice to become better? What are you willing to sacrifice to change everything? Change doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen over the span of 1 week. It doesn't happen over the span of 1 month. If you want real solid change, you've got to be consistent for as long as you can breathe, for as long as you can open your eyes. Every day you get to open your eyes. So the constant journey of always moving forward is going to be for the rest of your life. It's going to happen for the rest of your life. You cannot just sit down and say, I'm done. That's a quitter mentality. Once you give up on something, you're doomed. If you give up on something, you're basically saying, I quit. That means not only have you failed, you have almost no ability to come back. Because when you quit something, that means you told yourself and you made a decision to never try again. When you quit something, you have nearly lost all the progress you've ever done, you've ever tried, and you're only setting yourself back. Because one day in the future, you're going to look back and say, I should have freaking continued. I should have been the person to really achieve the thing that I wanted. But guess what? The decisions you make today make up who you are in the future. The life you choose today, the drinks you drink, the food you eat, the life you live, the people you talk to, the actions you create, everything is going to pay off one day. Whether it's negative stuff, whether it's positive, whether it's your sins, whether it's your prayers, everything is going to pay off. Do not think that nothing is going to happen because for every input, there's an output. Newton's third law says this. Every input has an output. You've got to ignore anybody and everybody. Just stop. Stop listening to their pointless conversation. Stop listening to their weak victim mentality. You're not a person to be consumed by their comments because if they don't have what you want, then why are you listening to them? If they don't have the life you want, then what's the point in listening to a person? The only people you should actually listen to is a person who's already successful in that field. The only person you should actually listen to and take advice from is somebody who has dealt with similar experiences, somebody who's actually had something that they're happy about, that they know they're going to achieve. You don't ask the people that haven't done anything with their life how to live a good life, because how would they know? They won't know. The right people to ask are the people that you look up to, people that you can believe, you can trust as a credible source. Not every stranger on the internet is going to help you. You can probably think that for me too. If you don't know me and you're just going through my channel, you may not think I'm a credible source. But from the way I speak, to the poise that I hold, to the masculine words and the intellect that I'm trying to portray, I hope that you can understand that a person that's trying to go somewhere is better than a person that only speaks about what they should do. A person that's so locked in, a person that has the mind for it, will one day be what they've always dreamed to be. And I'm not saying that you have to listen to me, but you have to ignore everything, everybody's noise. The people that don't matter are the people that you should ignore. You know, you should trust me when I say this. If you don't have anybody hating on you, it just means you're not making any action. You're not making any noise. You're not making the waves rumble. The only way you'll have haters, the only way you'll have any motion is if you're making something happen, is if you're building something. Because people, instead of putting their energy to building their own life, they like to hate. They spend energy, more energy to hate than to build whatever they have, than to build their own life. And that's what they call envy, jealousy. That's what they call a person that has nowhere that they're going in life. So they decide to try and bring some others down with them. And only the weak will listen to these opinions. Only the weak will let this falter, will let themselves suffer by listening to the wrong people, by listening to the wrong opinions. You can search the media, you can search any search engine for whatever you want, quite literally. You have the ability to. You can find as much motivation as you need. But 12 or 24 hours of motivation is worthless compared to just 10 minutes of action. So what I want you to do after this video, to take some action, do something that progresses your life in some sort of way. I do not mean go back on TikTok or Instagram to scroll more motivational reels. No, 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 no. That's not going to help you. Go and write something. Journal. Spend 10 minutes a day. Meditate. Talk to yourself. Writing, it elevates your mind. Meditating elevates your spirit. Speaking to yourself elevates your vocabulary and your poise. Just because people think that they can't do it, that doesn't mean that you can't achieve what you need to. Because when people have boundaries and limits in their own mind, they want to help you to see that you can't do it. But in reality, who put these boundaries and limits in their mind? Nobody. It was themselves. They thought it was too difficult. They made excuses at the times that they needed to work. They made the excuses. They made no time for effort. And they made a decision to say it was too hard. They made a decision to say that it was impossible. That's why you need to have ego sometimes. You know that you're the best. You know that you're someone different. You know that you have the capability to change everything, to change, is to transform, is to sacrifice. The key and the number one and the first step that you need to have is the belief. Belief in you. Once you start believing, you're already halfway there. One quote that I like to remember and inhibit in your mind is, you pretend to fall asleep to actually fall asleep. That's what happens, and that's what real life is. Let me repeat that. You pretend to fall asleep to actually fall asleep. So you've got to pretend to live the way you want to get the life that you want. You get it? Pretend. Make a fake reality and believe, be delusional enough to believe that you're already going to achieve it. And then everything's going to work out. It's all going to go right. Remember that. That's all I have today. Storytelling here. Peace out.